Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space, and a couple more Christmas bouquet cards. I posted a video that'll be yesterday when this one goes up, using this same die set. It's from the Syberia Designs October release. I'll have a link to the release in the description box below the video. Links to all the products I used. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. And at the end of this video, I'll link to the previous video I did using this set. Today, I am part of an Instagram hop to share inspiration for this release and decided to film while I was at it. So this will be a pretty quick video because it's pretty basic, but I used a sort of new to me product to create snow, and it's really fun. So that's all the disclaimers. I'll put a link to my holiday series playlist in the end screen as well, and you can check it out if you're interested, and I'll just keep adding to it. There's no schedule. I'm all over the place. Welcome to the chaos. So that's it. Let's get into making the cards. So like I said, I'm using the Christmas bouquet die set again, just like I did in my previous video. This time we're going to do it a little bit differently. I also used a couple more of the specialty cardstocks that Syberia released. So we've got some like sort of champagne-y colored glitter, a purpley color or magenta colored glitter, and then like a shimmery pink, and then a shimmery gold. Some Altenew cardstocks, and some white cardstock. And everything will be listed and linked in the supply list directly below the video, as well as on my website, which is also linked directly below. So I did all my die cutting. Didn't bother filming that because may as well watch paint dry. So I just did all my die cutting and then assembling. Assembling was simple. With those, I die cut the little berries from that like sort of magenta glitter cardstock. These little florals, just die cut from scraps of white cardstock. The flower centers and the little like spriggy branches is what I die cut from the. It's not really shimmery. It's like it's got like a glisten to it. There's a gold, and then the little light pink berries are also a little bit shimmery too. And those are part of those like specialty cardstock packs. And yeah, adhere the flower centers, the flowers, with these little berries, just adhere them to sprigs, poinsettias, layer them together, add the flower centers. Like I said, pretty basic. So I did all my die cutting, in one session. I do all my assembling in one session. This makes things go smoother. And if a person wanted to, you could just die cut like 10 times this amount, just turn on a show. That's what I usually do. I usually have like a show on, or, a podcast or audiobook, music going, that sort of a thing. And I can just zone out and die cut. And then I zone out and assemble. So the letters are from that die set. And I die cut them from this, it's like kind of champagne-y, bronzy, really pretty glittery cardstock. And I also die cut one layer from black cardstock and layer them together just to give them a little bit of dimension. Normally I do like 3 layers, but with all the die cuts going on, it wasn't necessary in my opinion. And then for these, I made my card bases from black cardstock. So these are top folding A2 note cards, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, made from black cardstock. And I basically taped the card base down to my work surface because that just kind of held it in place. And I had done an arrangement on just an A2 panel of cardstock with half of the die cuts. And then I'm just mimicking that right onto my card base. There's other ways of doing, like press and seal, different things. I rarely do that. I just kind of eyeball it. I just eyeball it. And I was like, that looks about where I had it placed, And I just work my way through, assembling or gluing everything directly to this card base. Or if I was doing something slightly different, I would adhere it all, to a card panel and then adhere to my card base. But this time I decided to keep the entire card black because every once in a while, especially with holiday cards. Black is a little bit unexpected, and especially just a full-on black card base. I did think about doing just, an A2 size panel and gluing it to a white card base, but instead I made just the whole card base black, and then I'll get to at the end how I address the inside of the card. So once I've got everything adhered, and I then repeated it on the second card base. For my snow, this is Deco Art Snow Tex, which some of you might be very familiar with. This has been around for years and years and years. I've actually had this jar for quite some time. I'll link to a couple versions of it. This one is enormous. Like, it said 16 ounces in the listing, and my brain was just like, okay. And then this is a ridiculous amount. Literally, it's nuts. It's going to take, I don't even know. Highly recommend with this kind of product to use like a press and seal. And that, as you can see, I keep it like pressed right down into the product so to remove as much air as possible, just to extend the shelf life. Like I tell everyone, pastes do not last forever. Expect them to be used up. That said, I will say I have had this paste for a couple years now. It's been about a couple years. That I haven't opened it though. I got it, I put the press and seal on it, and then I never used it. And then I pulled it out to use on this, and I was like, it was good to go, thankfully, because I would have served me right. Because like I said, use your paste. Don't expect it to last forever. It was just dumb luck that this was, stayed sealed. But if you're opening it and using it a lot, that does shorten its shelf life because air is getting into it. So I think that's one of the reasons why it's lasted so long is I literally have not opened that jar. Anyway, it is very, very white, and it has a lot of texture to it. Like there's chunky grit in it. So I just applied it with a little brush. It cleans up with water, so I cleaned out my brush when I was done, and you just dab it. So I dabbed it on the edges of all these die cuts, and it's got texture. It looks like snow. It's fun. And if you work in sections, you could also pour glitter over it. I thought about that, but by the time I thought about it, it was too late. Like, it dries fairly quickly. So I would work in smaller sections, and then you could pour like rock candy distress glitter over it. Beautiful. I'll have to do that in a future video. So this stuff was fun. Could have left it there. Could have just applied the little snow text, sealed up my jar after, like pressed that press and seal down, right into the product, put that lid back on it. I want to extend it because I have a lifetime supply of the stuff. And then could stop here. But I also wanted to make it even more snowy, especially on this black background because this is all going to pop. So I put both these cards into my splat box, put some white gouache onto my palette, thinned it down with a little bit of water, and then splattered this all over these card fronts with my little fan brush. So we've got the actual like texture of the snow text on, all the edges of these die cuts, and then just the extra white splatter to really just make this a very snowy little cards. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, this is kind of short and sweet. This was really simple. It was just assemble the die cuts, applying the snow text. You just dab a little paintbrush, tool of choice, and then splatter. Love it. So for the insides, because these are black card bases, I took some white cardstock that I cut to about 3 3/4 by 5 inches, just slightly smaller than A2 sized. And I'm stamping sentiments from the Christmas sentiment set from Syberia. And I stamped large solid Merry Word with Rubellite ink, because that's the same color as the cardstock I use for the poinsettias on the front. So stamped it with that. And then the Christmas sentiment, line that up, and I'm going to stamp that with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. So get that stamped, do that to both panels, and then these I just adhere to the insides of the cards, and that finished them off. I decided not to add any other embellishments because we've got like shimmer and glitter and texture and snow and splatter. These were fun. And black card bases. They just pop on the black. It's fun. So that was it, my friends. As always, I very much appreciate you all hanging out with me. I'll have a link to my Instagram, like I always do, in the description box below the video as well, so you can follow me over there if you don't already. And everything else will be in the description box below. And stay tuned, I have plenty more videos coming. So I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!